I've been watching over my son's shoulder on YouTube.
More of a special event? 100%.
I'm excited to meet all the creators. Welcome to Card Party! Let's do this thing!
It's pretty crazy.
What's up, everyone? My name is Dan. I'm the producer for Deep Pocket Monster, and this is the official Card Party Countdown Show. And I'm your co-host, along with 026 Gonzo.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gonzo, and welcome to the Card Party Countdown Show. I'm getting tongue-tied just out of excitement, just like Dan. Tonight, our guest is going to be not Shivom, Roxandy, and someone you guys all know, Ian with Ian. Hopefully, both Ians will show up for a cameo or two, but for sure, Big Ian is here. And tonight, we're going to kick it off with not Shivom. How are you guys doing tonight? Let's get started.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. So I'm really excited for Card Party. I know you are. We have a lot of details that we are allowed to discuss that some of the other feature creators do not know about because of the meeting we had today with Dan and his team. But more on that to come later. Let's get the chat to know who you are and what you're all about. Give the people a quick introduction.
So, hi guys, I'm not Shivom. I go by Shiv. It's much easier for people to say. And I typically produce content around high-end collectibles in general, and just being able to showcase their story and the collectability of it all and why the things that we collect have value. So I work with major auction houses, I work with grading companies, the whole 9 yards. So it's pretty cool being able to be at Card Party again for year number 3. So pretty pumped about that.
This is incredible that this is year number 3, not just one show, but 2 shows. And you have been to all of them as of yet. Tell us your experience from Card Party 1, the difference from 2, and what you expect for 3.
Oh, man. I mean, I think Pat, Deep Pocket Monster, is just going to blow this one out of proportion in comparison to the first Card Party and the second Card Party. Card Party number 1 really, I think all card parties really feel like summer camp, but for trading cards. It's a weird thing to put together, but it literally feels like summer camp put into a weekend. It's actually pretty crazy. But the coolest thing about being able to come to Card Party is just being able to connect with friends that I haven't seen in such a long time. I travel all year long. I mean, I haven't seen you in like quite a few months. So, I mean, I haven't seen you since last year. So, I mean, it's kind of cool being able to see everyone and all the creators, being able to connect, being able to see all the kids trade. It's just collecting and the hobby at its purest form.
It really is. And this year, there's something exciting new happening. We're going to do a game day style show. If you guys watch college football, the NFL, or any of these college sports, you know there's usually a pre-game show and an after-game show where there's a panel of analysts talking about the game and some highlights. That is going to be happening during the show at Card Party on Saturday. and we were part of that meeting today with Dan and some other content creators. I'm truly excited to talk about it. What is something you're looking forward to for that piece of new programming for Card Party?
I think something like this is completely unprecedented because I have not seen this in the card space at all. So being able to do things completely live, everything it's in its rawest form on the floor, everyone will get to see. For those of you guys who aren't able to come to Card Party, you will get to see Card Party for what it is through this live stream on both days, I believe. So you'll also get to see the recap on Sunday as well. So the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most is just being able to highlight vendors. I think for the most part, people back at home, they're not able to actually see what's on vendor tables and being able to see what the coolest things that are there and just being able to highlight a lot of those people that are there. I'm all about small business, so being able to showcase those small businesses at Card Party is such a huge thing, and then just being able to give them their limelight is probably what I'm going for the most.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
I'm excited for that as well. I like the idea that we're going to go out there and do trivia with some of the people. We're going to highlight. I love the idea of highlighting vendors because it gives them the chance to, if they can't go to Tampa or they can't go to Seattle and vice versa with some of these guests that are coming, they could still follow them on Instagram or even because some of these vendors will sell and ship on TCG Player through Instagram or eBay or other means. So there'll be ways to get these items that you're looking for. But like you said, there's more than just the cards there. There's people selling merchandise, clothing, people making stuff that they would normally see on Etsy. And there's so much more going on. And I think the vendors do need a major highlight, especially for how large it's going to be this year.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge. I think there's like, what, over 800 tables this year?
There's over 800 vendors that's what I believe that is what's Pat's saying is 800 vendors. There
That's
might
insane.
be 800 tables and maybe he's just wording it wrong. But either way, the number 800 is involved.
That's a huge number.
That's
That's
huge
massive.
number.
It's not a small show by any means.
No, it's in a convention center for a reason this year. Who are some of the content creators or that are featured, not featured, that you want to highlight on something like this to get them on camera, get them some kind of exposure?
Ooh, I mean, you already heard. I mean, we were in the meeting with them today. So Britt Day collects, and then Caleb X Swag, and then also
that one was obvious. You guys are you guys are always together.
Yeah, we're hand in hand with each other as well as 100 Charizard. So all of us are going to be there. We're going to be shooting content. We typically don't make pack opening content, but we like to be able to inform and educate. So we're the other side of the hobby where we like to showcase things, be a little bit more informative, and then just showcase why, things just have value the way they do and just highlight other things, do different interviews, do fun challenges. I think that's what we like to do the most while we're there. So the other people that I like to see the most is, man, I like seeing Leonhardt. I like seeing Real Breaking Nate, Marie, Pat, of course. It's always a great time whenever I get to see Pat. Just pretty much everyone. I think I'm able to bounce off of everyone, as well as the UK guys like Poke Chloe if she's still coming. Just pretty much everyone, honestly.
Yes, I really can't wait. And what can the people expect from you if they see you on the floor, if they want to do autographs, if they want to trade? Do you have any plans for a trade binder just in case, or do you just want to have fun and hang out with people?
You know what? Funny enough, last year I actually gave some kids Shrek cards for them to trade with, and they went crazy. Like first day one, they were going crazy on that. So
yes,
I think I'll probably bring some stuff that I have over there just to give out. See what they end up with at the end of the week, because like they're not Pokemon cards, they're Shrek cards. So if they can come up with some serious value out of that'd be pretty sick just to see what they end up with by the end of the weekend.
Right. But it's Card Party, not Pokemon Card Party, so it makes sense.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about any sort of cards. Shrek, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you name it, I'm all about it. So, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Autographs, if you need an autograph, feel free to say hi, hello. Even if I look busy, stop me, talk to me. I have zero issues with that. But to expect out of me, you'll just mostly be seeing me around the big collectibles all throughout the weekend, being able to shoot content when I'm not, casting with you guys on the stage. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Shiv. Do you have any last words before we put you back in the waiting room before you come back for the final night's Q&A?
Oh, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, make sure you come by to Card Party. I mean, I think that's going to be That's literally going to be a party. And if you're not there, then at least you'll get to see us on live on here on the internet, and we'll make sure we give you the most real experiences possible behind a screen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shiv. And speaking of Q&A, after all three guests have come up, we have the Q&A open. Give us topics, give us your questions, and we get to most of them at the end so everyone can have a discussion with the chat. Because chat, I see your comments and we'll get to them. Next up is someone that a lot of people didn't even know what he looked like for a very long time. He's someone who is very young, but has a very mature and willingness to have a conversation about anything in this hobby. Give it up for Rock Sandy.
How's it going, guys? My name's Rock. How are you doing in this stupendous day, Gonzo?
I'm doing great. It's a little hot in San Diego, but I guess it's getting me ready for that Florida weather that we're going to be in.
You know, as I live in Florida, so it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait. I was really shocked that actually happened in Florida 2 times. I was so happy.
Well, yeah, because now you don't have to travel like everyone else.
Yep. That's right.
Speaking of travel, are you going or have plans for Seattle?
So it's kind of a thing I was debating about. Obviously, I'm planning on going to Tampa only at the moment, but hey, if there's any way that I can go to Seattle, because at the end of the day, it is pretty much across the whole entire United States from where I am. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, but hey, if I have an option to go there, I will. I'll be honest, because Card Party is so much fun, and dude, I want to experience it at least like every single day. Okay, maybe at the bare minimum every week.
You guys heard it here. If you guys want Rock Sandy to go to Seattle, make sure you go to his page, check him out, and subscribe just like you want to do for everybody here tonight. But you are a little different for the Card Party people that are coming. Shiv goes over everything in the history with nostalgic cards, games, collectibles in general. I go over the Pokemon stuff and other content creators. Ian does fantastic streams and giveaways. You, on the other hand, keep people safe from putting out information from people who potentially could be scamming others. You talk about commentary in this space. Why do you think that is so important to have a commentary channels like yours, Rattles, Opossums, even Mimic Brews? Why do you think those conversation channels are so important to this hobby?
Well, I believe that everyone should communicate, regardless if you have opposing and different opinions. I believe the fact that you are open to a conversation, I think in the end, it'll benefit the hobby one way or the other. No, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of, maybe unprompted criticism, unfair criticism. But in the end, I believe if you're willing to have a conversation about it, it is going to be a net positive for this community. And yeah, it's just been amazing just doing this. At first, I started off as a kind of like an unboxing channel. But obviously, since I was younger at the time, I didn't really have that much, to spend on. So I had, I was like, I like saying my opinion on stuff. There's a few topics at the time, so might as well give it a try. And, the rest is history. So yeah, I think having conversations, speaking about topics, making sure everybody is aware of, bad actors in this space, including scammers and etc. I think it's very beneficial. And obviously you have to do it responsibly. If you mess up, you have to admit that you did that. And obviously just always be humble and just always be open-minded. And I think that is probably the most important thing.
So with Card Party, and we're like we were talking about earlier, we're going to be doing some live streams on Saturday and Sunday for the YouTube channel. Is there anyone that you don't necessarily want to debate with, but just maybe have a conversation with, that on a debate side or just in general conversation with somebody?
That's an interesting question. Man, I'm not really too sure, because I'm willing to have a, like not a debate, but have a conversation, because I feel like the whole concept of a debate is a little reductive. I just like having conversations with people. I don't think it should be who wins, who doesn't win. I just really genuinely want to see another person's perspective and truly hope to understand where they're coming from. But in terms of who I would want to do that with, I'll be honest, I really have no one in mind. I would like to do it with pretty much everyone that I can. So I'm not really too sure about that.
And then we're gonna end off with the same question that we did with Shiv. If the people see you walking around the convention hall, what can they expect from you if they walk up to you?
You could expect that I'm very open. If you want to have an autograph, I'm willing to talk about anything. If hey, as Shiv said, even if I look busy or whatnot, feel free to stop me and ask for anything. If you need help with anything, I'm also free as well. And that's pretty much it. Like, listen, do not fear, and that goes for pretty much every single creator. Obviously, you want to respect their personal boundaries as well. But I feel, and I could speak for a majority of people, just don't be afraid to walk up to people. I think everybody is super chill. I was afraid, even like, when I went to Card Party 2, I was afraid to walk up to certain creators because you know what? I look up to them, didn't want to really disturb them. But in the end, they were really chill about it. And that's not something you should, really fear.
I think it's something that a lot of people need to remember. Sometimes it's, even though we're content creators, you guys watch us, we're still people just like you are. We're going to be scared. We're going to be nervous, but we're there to have fun with you. So come up, say hi, get an autograph or two, and have fun. Are you going to be doing any content or anything like that while you're there for yourself?
I do have plans with a few other content creators, such as PokeBeard. Aside from that, though, maybe a Critical Hit podcast live stream. I'm probably gonna do some news or commentary while I'm at like a hotel or something if something pops up, because at this point something new is happening every single day in this hobby. So I'm definitely gonna take my camera just in case if I have to give my opinion about something or etc. But hey, I'm free to do anything. If any content creator wants to stop me or say, hey, do you want to film a video or something, feel free to do so. I'm pretty open.
All right, that you guys heard it here first. Come up, talk to Rock Sandy. He'll talk to you. Thank you so much, Rock. Our next guest doesn't need an introduction. You guys know him. He was the original Gonzo of the DPM channel. He's in every YouTube video, and you can see the comments. Oh, there's Ian. So welcome Ian with Ian, one of the best editors that I have met in this space. You're so good at what you do, to the point in the Gen 5 video in Las Vegas, people still believe the fireworks were real.
Thank you,
Ian. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Just
I'm doing
clarify,
fantastic.
I'm not in every YouTube video.
Not anymore.
Just
That's me now.
Video.
Yes, because now that's me. Because now you are behind the camera. Yeah. So let's talk about your history with DPM and Card Party 1. Because Card Party 2 last year, something incredible happened, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about your history with Card Party 1 and what you expected there and how you felt it went down.
Going back to Card Party 1, it was what was advertised. It was a party with cards, mostly Pokemon cards. And it was great to just be featured and be part of it and see a good chunk of the behind the scenes and just interact with fans. We really felt like, me and little Ian, we really felt like rock stars at the first card party. People that just came up to us, also meeting people in person that would join our live streams, some of our mods as well. It was a feeling that you can't really put into words until you experience it.
It really was. And you also became great friends with Pat after Card Party 1 and on way to Card Party 2, where you were able to ask your fiance for marriage on the main stage. A lot of people want to know that, because that was such an incredible moment that it makes several highlight reels from your channel to my channel to the Card Party YouTube channel and many more. Let's talk about those steps, because that was planned for years. Nah, not years, but about a year. Because you told me about it. Yeah, you told me about it at that Christmas party at Slim Rips for the Generation 2 video for the Chad binder. So I was wearing Pat's face. That's when I was wearing Pat at the time. So I can keep a secret, guys.
Yeah, definitely told people months in advance, even told the kids too. And shout out to them for keeping a secret. But it was just an idea that just kind of floated in conversation between me and Pat.
Mhm.
And it was kind of a joke. And then he was completely down for it. And we went from there, planning it out. And I mean, to this day, when we look at the pictures and think about it, it was so great. So, shout out to the card party team and Dan and Pat for allowing that to happen.
Yes, and I
Definitely a memory. It was a year ago, yesterday.
yes.
Father's Day was also our anniversary, our engagement anniversary.
So I'm sure people want to know: is there plans to do the wedding or a wedding type ceremony at one of these events?
At this moment, there are no plans for a wedding event of any type at a card party.
Yet was the key
Yes.
word. What can the people expect from you this year for Card Party?
I don't even know. As you can see, I've kind of been not developed, joined into the Deep Pocket Monster family. So the Ian with the Ian channel has been kind of desolated for a bit, not deserted for a bit, but not forgotten because Ohana means family. And so from our channel, I have plans, but I'm not going to say when because then y'all tease me about not making those deadlines. So there is stuff in the works for our channel. And at Card Party, I'm taking the whole family. Again, there's 5 of us, plus the in-laws. So I have no plans for content because who knows how busy I'll be. But I can't wait to interact with so many of y'all that are going to person. You saw them earlier here, not Shivom, Rock Sandy, loads more. You, Gonzo, as well, because those are the best times ever since joining the
Yes.
Pokemon community.
Because we even shared a meet and greet booth at last year's Card Party, and it was incredible. Because we talked about it off camera when it was just us. We were both expecting maybe 5 people, and it would be your whole family, and that was it. But we had a nice sized crowd, and it was very humbling for both of us. Like, okay, we are we are doing this the way we want it to, and how we're doing it. And we had so much fun together. Is there any content creator this year that you potentially want to meet with or speak to or just hang out with?
None come to mind. I've met so many,
Hmm.
honestly. So at the top of my head, no, there's no one specifically. I just kind of go in with no expectations on who I want to meet and just make it a party for whoever is there.
Are the kids excited to meet anybody?
Kids, to meet anybody, not so much. They're just happy to buy stuff.
So they're happy to spend your money.
Right.
What are you getting me?
What are you getting you? I can't
Yeah.
tell you. It's a secret.
Oh, it is a secret. That is true. Uh, is there any plans that your kids want to do? Are they looking to complete master sets? Are they looking for specific Pokemon?
No, I've kind of hyped them up on just the Tampa area in general because
Mhm.
unlike Orlando, where I think the closest thing to the hotel was a gas station, Tampa's completely different. It's going to be amazing. It's not at a hotel this time, it's at a convention center, and you
Yes.
could literally walk outside the convention center and you're transported into a whole new environment. There's the river walk, you got Ybor City, there's random roosters walking around. Downtown is right there, so you don't need a car. If anyone was thinking they needed a car, the airport is like 10, 15 minutes away as
Mhm.
well, so they're really excited to travel in general.
So, as the first family channel to come on for the countdown show, what's some advice that you can give to other families coming to not just Tampa but to Card Party for maybe their first time event?
First time families, it's a family-centered event first foremost, and all the content creators know that. And I think they've done a great job, especially the past 2 years, of catering to families. There is like an area for those adult-oriented channels, but I think for the most part, everyone does a great job.
Mhm.
Kids are gonna have a great job. They have kid activities. I think they're taking out the card throwing this year, but they
Yes.
replacing it with a bunch more stuff. and the vendors are great. Do your research when your kids are doing trades, just so your kids don't walk out of a trade on the low
Absolutely.
end side. Try to do research. There's plenty of websites. There's TCG Player, Price Charting, eBay, all that kind of stuff. But even the shows themselves, like you don't have to go to buy. It's not a collect-a-con. It's about having a party. So to me, it's great seeing the kids' faces light up when they see their favorite content creators in person. And there's
Mhm.
really no paywall, to my understanding. You can just see content creators walking down the hallway, bump into them. Rock mentioned it earlier, just bump into us, say hi. We're more than happy to interact with y'all. We wouldn't be where we are now without our fans. So it's just great to bump into them. So very family-centric events.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ian. And we are going to get ready for the group Q&A session with Nachavum, Roxanne, and Ian with Ian. All of us together. We're going to be answering chat's questions. So, guys, start putting those questions in the Q&A at the top of the chat, or you can put them in the regular chat. We will get to them when we can. Hopefully, we can get to all of them. I did see a few questions already. As far as why some creators are not featured over others, we as the people here in this group cannot say why. We're not the decision makers on that. But maybe the advice I give to everybody, and I will get advice from the other guys too. If you want to be a feature creator one day for Card Party, you need to make it known. Not and you need to make it known now for next year. Put it out there in the universe. Close what's the saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. You need to make it known that that's what you want to do. We're not saying go out there and beg for it, but remember, guys, it's a family friendly event. So if you guys see me on my regular channel, I swear I say bad words, but I still keep it a, at about PG-13 at best. But it's always about the fans. So don't be over ecstatic or eccentric, I should say. Be kind to others. Make sure stand out. Do what you want to do, and just make sure it's known to Pat, to Dan, to the Card Party team that this is a goal in mind, and work on it. I'm not saying it's absolutely sure you're going to get picked, but you're in the light of people that you need to be seen. If you're asking me or Ian or someone else that you think has power to make decisions, we don't. We could vouch for you if they ask, but at the end of the day, the power's in your hands to get out there and make a statement for yourself to get picked and talked to for this, because they're not handpicking anybody. Everyone who's on the feature creator list has made an impact in their community, and they went out of their way to talk to the team. Nachivim, what is your advice to the people who want to be feature creators at some point?
I think you kind of hit everything on it. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think one thing to add is that for those of you guys who are striving to be a content creator, who want to be featured in conventions like Card Party, for example, the best way of going about doing it is to talk to other creators. That's a resource that all of you guys have. We're all there. We're all available. Talk about what we do as far as content goes. Pick our brains. I think that's one thing that more people should be doing, and I think that's the best way of going about doing so. Like, I don't know the process of how people are picked and chosen. I think it's just more about impact and impact in communities, just like Gonzo had just stated. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, just pick everyone's brains, pick content creators that you aspire. Like if you catch them and you have them signing your autograph, like you have them giving you an autograph, then that's a great time to ask. Or those of us who are just walking around, definitely ask. I think that's the best way of going about doing things. And ask about content. Ask about what they think. If you have a video that you're working on, feel free to show us, because then we can give a little bit of advice as far as that goes and make a little bit of change to where the video turns out to be more successful. So that's just my 2 cents right there.
Yes, abs. That is 100%. I think is also hitting the nail on the head, because I can say this for everyone here. A lot of people go to these conventions, not just Card Party, but Collecticon and Comic Cons. They go and they want to collaborate with others, thinking about networking. I can absolutely say that most of these people that I have networked with are now my friends. So don't go in there with the mindset of the net worth, your net worth is your net worth. I can't, yes, you guys know what I'm trying to say. yes, you want to go out there and collaborate with others, but pick their brains, be respectful, and make friends because the friends will help you out. Acquaintances may not. Ian, what is some advice that you would give people if they want to be feature creators in the upcoming card party events?
If you want to be featured, just kind of do your thing and don't try to copy anyone else.
Hmm.
I can only speak from my experience. When the 25th anniversary McDonald's Happy Meals were available, Ian grabbed the pack and he's like, "Look, just like what you used to tell me when you were little," and that kind of reignited the spark in us to open packs. And I just grabbed a camera and recorded us just opening packs and enjoying ourselves. And at the time, it was just to father and son bonding, and we were at it for about 9 months and almost quit and just went to Leonhardt's pop-up shop in Texas, and that's where me and Pat met. And from there it was just continuing doing the same thing. And what's funny is I do these fake movie trailers on the channel with the ends
Oh,
of the
do you?
galaxy.
Are you sure?
I
Do
do, yes.
you?
And it was from those trailers that piqued the interest of the DPM editing team. And now I'm editing for Deep Pocket Monster. So it wasn't even something that was related to Pokemon, except that PokeTubers are the stars of those trailers.
Mhm.
And here we are. So to be featured is just, you know, hop into people's lives, be part of the community, be a positive impact in the community as well, and just do your thing. There's eyes all over the community. We got Rock Sandy, you got Opossum Bud, and so many great other content creators that will keep content creators, what's it word, accountable for their actions.
Mhm.
So to be featured, and you can just ask, don't pester anyone about it as well. It's just it comes with good faith, is what I have to say.
Yes. And Rock Sandy, what is advice that you would give other commentary channels if they want to be featured at Card Party?
Well, that's actually a pretty good question because there's actually not a lot of commentary channels, in the Pokemon sphere. And that's actually one wish that I kind of would like to see a little bit more. Just more people just being vocal, more people speaking about situations and etc. But if they really want to get, be a part of the card party and be a featured creator, to be honest, I would just, again, as you said, make it known, put it out in the future, and also just network with a lot of people. Not just network, but just try to be friends with them. Because, when I started out, I just simply loved a lot of these content creators' content and videos. I just talked with them. I said, "Hey, dude, your video was so awesome." I would just constantly just try to support them. And you know what? That made friendships, and those friendships bloomed to the position that I am currently. And I'm beyond thankful for it. I'm still a relatively small channel compared to others. But
Mhm.
I think what, really separates me from maybe some others that are kind of similar in my stature is that I just really want to talk to others. I really want to hang out, be friends, and again, pick their brains. So if there are any inspiring commentary channels like that, I would do the same exact thing. Just talk to the individual, be friends with them, maybe learn from them, ask questions, and in the long run, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out a lot better.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. And now we're going to get started on the actual group questions. The first question on the Q&A side is what type of money payment should we have? What do you guys recommend you bring for money?
Ooh, cash.
Cash is
You
king. Cash is going to
Cash
be
is
king.
king.
Yeah.
Usually I always say cash first because sometimes in certain convention centers service is not available. So sometimes app-based payment systems just don't really work all that well. Especially since there's 800 vendors that are coming and everyone's gonna be
Mhm.
buying things and selling things, it can kind of be tough. So that's like my first go-to thing. And then secondly, it'd be payment-based apps. Definitely do goods and services. Unless you actually know someone, then you can do friends and family. But I highly recommend you do goods and services as far as payment systems go throughout the course of the weekend.
Yes. I would also add that for cash, it's a lot more powerful in negotiations with cash.
Hmm.
Yeah. Another question from Robert Best Knight. It's directly to Ian. Is Ian going to Card Party West?
Yes, I'll be going to both East and West.
Ooh. Man, Ian's popular on the Q&A side from Fatapack Magic at Ian with Ian. Your production is amazing. When will we see the next trailer?
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is in the works. It's 90% done.
Okay. From this Shang 27, this one is probably going to be difficult for all of us to answer because we all currently live in the States. Any advice for people crossing the border to attend? We are coming from Canada down to Seattle, and we are a little nervous about it with everything going on.
Oh, I mean, I've flown to Canada a few times back and forth last year just for a few different conventions. Just put your stuff in a card case, bring it on as a check-in, so that way it's not being bumpy or anything. Don't bring anything too much in value. Obviously, customs has a limit, so obviously don't bring anything above like $10,000. But yeah, just get a card case, bring it with you, have it as your carry-on, and yeah, you're good to go.
What would you
Yeah, I would kinda like
recommend
that.
for people to getting to the airport to get through customs to make sure they get to their flight on time?
I'm like an airport dad, even though I don't have kids, so I get to airports like 2 hours beforehand,
Mm,
and I take the earliest flight in the mornings, and so when I'm the first one there, and TSA is usually going through stuff, then when they're scanning through my card case, they know everything that's there. They see it. Sometimes they open it up and they ask me what it is, and then they have like a small little discussion about like Pokemon cards, but outside of
yes.
that, it's not anything too crazy. Like when you're going through customs, it shouldn't be too many issues as far as declaring stuff goes. Just say you're going for a card convention, and that's really it. And you're just there going to have fun. That's really it.
Perfect. We have a question from Sentimax. What do you get if you have the Elite Pass? That is a perfect question. The Elite Pass is a very limited tickets that we have for Card Party. Only 50 people got it. You get full access to the event 3 days, early access to the exhibit hall and vendors, open to the TCG tournaments, all the extra stuff, and then you get exclusive meet and greets that others may not get. And that's 50 people. But speaking of 50 people, way more people are coming Saturday because Saturday tickets are all sold out. If you guys want to come on Saturday and you have not picked up tickets yet, you have to buy the 3 day pass now. So that is incredible that's how busy Saturday is going to be. So I hope you three are ready for that. Um, yes, I think that like there's so many things going on with the Elite Pass that I can't list everything, but it's going to be well worth the money, I'm sure. Don Dre the Collector at Ian with Ian, how often would you edit your videos to where you feel it becomes easy? So I guess it's not really your videos because now, like you said earlier, you work for Pat. So how often do you edit Pat's videos to make it easy? And again, he's not the only person ending. There's a full team.
Sorry, I missed the question because Tina had to reject someone in the chat about being my wife. Repeat the question.
Don Dre wants to know how often would you edit videos to make it feel easy?
How to make it feel easy?
Mhm.
I don't know. That's
It all depends on the video from my experience, and I'm still
Yeah,
trying to get good at it.
yeah, it depends on the videos. Mostly focused on DPM videos at the moment. My videos are more effects heavy, so they take a bit, and then by the time I have time to edit my stuff, I'm pooped. So
Yes.
to edit videos to make it easy would be none, because they are hard work.
Yes. Ryan Hayes wants to know how much is PSA charging to grade cards at Card Party? As far as I know, they're not grading cards again this year. They're just doing on-site submission drop-offs. And I think for that, there might be a small discount, but it's normally their same prices they would offer online. Team Pokemon, what's a good way to approach another content creator to collab with? I think we pretty much spoke on it. You just got to walk up with respect and ask. The worst they can do is say no, or set up or maybe if they're busy at that moment, to set up a schedule so you guys can actually meet up and do something. Yeah. Fatapack Magic wants to know what do you all want to get out of Card Party this year compared to last year? We're going to start with Roxanne on this one. What do you want to get out of it this year?
Not in terms of tangible things, but I just really want to make a lot of memories. That's pretty much it. I know it sounds a little bit cringy, but that's pretty much it. I would like to make memories. I'd like to spend time more with my friends. This time, I'm going a day before card party actually starts, just settle down, maybe meet a few friends prior to the event. But yeah, man, I just really want to hang out and obviously have conversations. Conversations are really, really important to me. So, I'd love to talk to any single person that wants to talk to me.
Yes. Yes, Ian.
No, I was just saying I do. I want to talk to Rock.
Well, I want to talk to you, Ian, too. Wow. Oh.
We both swiped right.
Oh man, I love you. Oh my god.
You're lucky he just turned 18, Ian. What do you want to get out of it besides meeting up with Rock?
Uh, just meeting with fans, like to think that we were just a father-son duo. Now we're a family of
I
five,
thought you were
and it's
twins.
all no. Now we're a family of five, and it's all tied to the Pokemon community and just meeting people. Like it's just amazing. And then engage the engagement last year on stage, and just being part of this amazing crew of creators. It's a dream come true. So the experience, and then being able to take the family, we're turning it into a vacation. We'll be there a few days before, a couple after, just to enjoy the family as well. So it's I'm just what happens there happens, and I'm all for it.
And Shiv, what do you expect at a card party this year?
Dude, my only expectation is to just straight up party all weekend. That's what I'm there for. I'm there to see cool stuff, cool cards, and cool people. That's what I'm there for. There for the vibes. But I'm
You're
also
gonna
there to shoot tons of content. That's like I'm all about the content during that weekend. So if we're
I just
not on stage, then I'm shooting.
I just picture Shiv walking around with a Pikachu themed margarita now. Like, I'm just here for the vibes, man. Like, hey, that looks good. um, I something I would like to see from a lot of creators, and this is something we talked about earlier. Um, I want to see more educating of because the hobby is getting so much larger now with the hype of Prismatic Evolutions, 151, the Destined Rivals, and the new Black and White set coming out. I'm really excited to talk about and educate people on how to spot fake cards, how to spot fake merchandise. And this is topics that we're going to talk about on stage during the card party live stream. And I think it's very important to talk about it now more than ever because there's so many videos coming out of on r/poke investing, Pokemon cards, and even on Roxanne's channels of people coming out with like, oh, I got a fake PSA slab, I got a fake Beckett slab. And I think educating these people is something that I would love to do this year myself because I've been in the hobby since I was 10. And I know you guys have been in the hobby for a very long time too. So we all have a crazy amount of knowledge. And it's something I can even learn from you guys. Because I love Pokemon, but I can't. There's some stuff that I stay away from because I don't know how to identify if it's real or fake. And that's something I can learn from Shiv. I can learn from Caleb. There's so many people, even other collectors can learn from. We have a question in chat from Robert Schmidt. Are there any fun events for kids you can share? There's absolutely events that are happening for families and everything for kids at the event. There's going to be kid centers. There's not going to be the card throwing event where they just throw a bunch of cards at a gong and everything. It's just too messy, too much of a hassle. And I'm going to be honest, some of your kids don't listen to the staff. And that's probably a big reason why it's not coming back because it makes it harder for them to clean up and to get things ready for you guys. There's a scavenger hunt going on for exclusive card party cards. And the stage shows are absolutely going to be for the kids. And I can't wait to have you guys see that. Pokemon Classics says, editing isn't hard per se, but boy, can it be time consuming.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to describe it. Maybe it's not necessarily the difficulty of doing it, just the time it takes to actually accomplish the task.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's difficult to work with dragons.
But apparently not fireworks.
No.
I am back on the Q&A side. From Creddy Films, we have, hi hype for Card Party 3. When can we expect the detailed schedule? That is something Dan is going to have to answer because I don't have that one. I'm assuming it's sometime this week.
Yeah, it's hard because things are always subject to change, right? So we got to put out a more broader one, especially early, because creator schedules can change, things can change up to the time of the event. So I would expect more details as we get closer to it, just because we got to account for that. We don't want to put anything out that then has to change and people are disappointed. So that's just part of event planning and everything with that. So that's why it's a bit more of a broader schedule that's on there right now. But the nice thing about Card Party is we always have something going on. There's going to be an expo stage that happens within the expo itself. It's going to be called the Versus stage. And there's going to constantly be creators pack battling each other and having fun on that stage. That's meant for the in-person people there. So that's going to be fun, a crowd, place to sit over there. There'll actually be chairs and all this stuff. So that's going to be constantly going on. And then, of course, our night show and plenty of things happening within the expo hall and throughout the day.
Thank you, Dan, for that information. Ryan Hayes says, it's my first time going to any card party. I want my kids to really have a good time. Where we are doing the whole weekend? Is there one thing I should make sure we attend? I'm going to leave that question to you, Ian, because you're the family man right now. You're bringing the family. What do you recommend the families do if this is their first time going to card party for the actual event, not going out in town?
Right. I mean, to get the most out of the day, it's Saturday. It's the longest day of the 3. And I mean, every day is going to be fun. A change of this year compared to last year is there won't be any morning shows, or else that would help me pick a day, because Friday there was no morning shows, but Saturday and Sunday they were. However, this year there are no morning shows. It's just the evening shows for all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I have no idea what to expect from the 3 days. So they're really changing the formula up this year, because if it was based on the first 2 years, I'd be, oh, you got to attend this day because the other 2 days don't have this. Where it's this year, it's pretty much up in the air on what they're going to have. I mean, the Friday night show, it's always a blast because it's the first day. They do a really good job of doing like an intro reel and introducing all the creators that are there and the featured. And then Saturday, it just kind of carries over into the next day, the day of activities that you got the expo halls, vendors, all that stuff. And then Saturday, not Saturday, Sunday, it just happens to end earlier. So maybe not Sunday, but honestly, all 3 days are, if not equally, going to be as fun. So you pick.
Yes. Ken X wants to know, will there be areas where people can still trade early with one another? I don't know what you mean by trade early, but there's going to be spots where you can sit down at tables, I'm sure, and trade with everybody. But more importantly, if you guys are staying at the Marriott in Tampa, that's where the evening trade nights are going to be at. But unfortunately, I would say book your hotel room if you haven't already. But the hotel rate, it's done, it's over, it's completely booked. So, but I still recommend, if you can, stay at that hotel. It's going to cost a little extra, but it's going to be worth it, because that's where you want to go and trade and be that's where the trade event for Card Party is going to be. If you're not staying at that hotel, that's okay. You can still come to the lobby, the bar area where that trade night will be happening, and you can still participate. You don't have to stay at the hotel. It just makes it easier for you. With that being said, if you have not booked your hotel for Seattle, book it. You don't want to miss out on the prices to save money on these hotels. You could save hundreds of dollars doing that. That's my little spiel and shout out to the hotels. Thank you to the Marriott for that.
So sick.
Yeah, if you guys do you guys go to, well, Rock, you were 17 last year. Did you go to the trade nights at the bar area?
Around that
the right
time,
answer.
Yeah.
You
Around that
yes.
around that time.
Everyone
However,
shame Rock.
I did not indulge myself with any tomfoolery, however.
All right, I'm gonna be a commentary channel. You're gonna expect a video about me with Rock underage trading.
No, but that hotel in Tampa is actually really nice. I've
Mhm.
stayed there, and last time I stayed there was like in 2022, and those were for smaller conventions at that time. And both times, Ric Flair just like came on the boat, just came on the back, and just parked his boat right there. Came right inside that Marriott. So hey, fingers crossed we see good old Nature Boy while we're at that Marriott.
Oh, I know Dan and Powder would freak out if Ric Flair just randomly showed up. We're big wrestling fans.
Yeah, we'll
Dan,
see.
Dan,
That
give
would
us
be
your
pretty
best
sick.
woo.
I don't know. It's too late over here right now.
Oh, that's
Around
true.
East
It
Coast
is.
time.
Yes.
Um,
Ian, what are you? Because you came down to the trade night after your marriage proposal. Are you excited not to give the same amount of love? Because people are just like, oh, it's Ian.
What?
Because last year, after your engagement, you came down to the trade night in the bar area. You felt a lot of love. Are you ready for
Yes.
some people to like, oh, like there's Ian. Do you want this
Oh.
Charizard?
Well, I don't expect people to say congratulations a year later. So that was an experience that was solely secluded to the second card party. This year
Mhm.
it's just hanging out with friends. I hope to get recognized at least once, but other than that, just meet up with people who I've been interacting with on the internet for the past year since the last card party, and hope
Yes.
to meet new people.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited for the trade night. I'm not attending with my family this year. That's just traveling with the toddlers too much. So I get to stay out like a big boy tonight or that night. So I'm excited to do some trades. I normally don't do trades. I'm like a gold dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. I hoard everything. It's all mine, but I want to do some trades. I want to get that experience this year. Um,
and we're gonna
from
have
Dej-
a couple of trade nights. There's an unofficial trade night Friday night, and then the official trade night on Saturday night.
well,
So got a couple of
that's
different trade
every
nights
card
there.
party. Yeah.
And then
Nice.
outside of those, it's literally unofficial trade night all the time. So
All the time.
Yep.
there's gonna be plenty of places to sit down, plenty of spots where you could kind of find a corner and start trading. That's usually what's pretty awesome about it. Even within the hotel, everyone starts checking in. We're not in a hotel this year, but usually the last 2 years we've been in a hotel, so you just see people all over the place,
Yeah,
just
I
like
when I
sitting at a
checked
table
in,
trading.
I checked in last year, and while I was checking in, people were already trying to trade with me. When I saw my luggage in my hand. Let me check in first. Let me go to the room, put stuff down. But people are going to be trading nonstop in the hotel, just like last year. I don't expect that to change just because we're across the street. Um, l- where Dijon? Oh, never mind. From Lucas Garza. Ian, you're so loved tonight. Ian, are you interviewing for your channel again? I would love to be in it again.
Am I interviewing for my channel again? I don't believe I've interviewed anyone on my channel. I've been interviewed on others' channel,
Mhm.
so there might be a confusion there. But
Yes.
more than happy to talk to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely confusion because it says I would love to be in it again, and you maybe did maybe little Ian did a live stream without you knowing. He-
That'd be
Ian's
funny. I'd be proud of him though. I'd be like, wow, you set this all up without me knowing.
yes. From Dejan Dorbal. I'm so sorry for how I'm butchering your name. Dejan Dorbalovic. How are things going to work with everything being in one room compared to the last couple of years of being separated rooms? It's going to make it easier since everyone is in one room. It's a giant room, but everyone's there. You don't have to go find a map at a corner of a hotel, and you just don't need a map. It's going to be so much easier to walk around and find what you need to find. Um, how do you guys feel about it being in one giant room over small separate rooms for card party this year?
Great. So much easier to navigate,
Mhm.
especially when my biggest thing is that vendors were also like put in a bunch of different rooms. So I feel like some rooms got a little bit more love than the others. Whereas this one room with all the vendors there, I think that people will take more time being able to go through all of the vendor tables and being able to see like what deals they can get, being able to see what cards they can buy, trade, do whatever. I think having it all in one spot really does give everyone the same amount of love as everyone else. And I mean, I think it's just accessible to find all of us at once, because if we're all in one spot, then you know where all of us are at versus having to hunt down someone specifically.
Yes, last year I didn't even know there was a third room for some of the vendors until Sunday when one of my friends called me like, "Hey, this vendor's looking for you." And I was like, "All right, great. I'll head to the vendor hall." I was in the wrong vendor hall for like 15 minutes before they're like, "Where are you?" Yeah, I didn't know where some of the vendors are, so I'm really excited for that as well. And we saw the map for the vendors today during that meeting. It's going to be incredible because especially for the live stream, you're going to be able to see everything. It's like I said, if you guys like the game day experience for college football or the Super Bowl or whatever sports show you like, where there's those analysts going on, you're gonna love this live stream. And if you can't make it to Card Party this year, hit that notification bell for this YouTube channel and you can watch it and be a part of it. We are working out ways so we can interact with the chat just like today. Now we have a question from Ken.
I'll just quickly jump in real quick, just for last year. And the reason it ended up becoming into so many multiple rooms is, remember, Card Party started as a super, super small event, right? We launched without even much of an understanding of what it was going to be, right? No one really knew what they were getting that first year. So when we booked the second year, the room was only going to be one expo room. But because it expanded so much, we ended up having to expand into the more rooms. And that's why it went that way, which is why now we've left the hotel atmosphere into the convention hall center because we needed that space. It was just this expansion that moved really fast compared to what it could have been, expecting it to be a bit smaller inside of the hotel single, convention center spots.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost quadrupled in size in 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, I can't believe how big it is. That's insane. We have a question about content creating from Kenix. Will there be spots where people can post their content if people do not have their own supplies to do it? I don't necessarily understand your full question. Are you asking if there's like tripods and cameras and everything that you can borrow for that? Probably not. I don't know any convention where they will have supplies like that for others to use. I know last year they had a room dedicated for content creation where they have backdrops and everything for you to use. If Dan might be able to answer that question again, but I'm assuming that's what they're going to do again. They're going to give you a space where there's backdrops to use, not necessarily equipment.
Yeah, there'll be, I believe, a section like that where you can have that kind of step and repeat kind of thing to record in front of. So, but there'll be plenty of space to be able to do that. We won't have equipment though,
no. Fish Eyes wants to know, is there going to be God packs for the USA Black and White set? I do not know. I have not seen any of those rumors. I haven't seen anything confirmed for that. Vish Shang 27, is there a limited edition Card Party cards again this year? Yes, there is. There's going to be a collector is sponsoring a scavenger hunt for some of these cards. Some of the cards have already been shown off from Pat. And they're going to be some of the cards like last year that you can find for Bulk Alley, for being a good helper cards, and cards that you will get just for showing up to the event. But there's other cards that you can get while there for doing a scavenger hunt and completing little missions. Are you guys collecting any of those cards this year?
Yeah, usually I try to like snag as many of those cards possible. But I'm never able to actually get all of them just because I get so locked in.
So busy.
Yeah, I get so I think it's the same for pretty much all the content creators that are there. Like we get so locked in with like our normal obligations plus like with the convention and being present that we tend to kind of just forget that, that aspect of the convention exists. Like, dude, I didn't even get the I wasn't even able to like sign a card and put in the big binder last year for the world record. Just because I was so busy. Yeah, I was just so caught up with everything. So yeah, this year I'm gonna try and do everything, but for me specifically, I just know I'm gonna miss one thing. I know I am.
Mm. Rock, I know Ian collects them. He uses them for little giveaway stuff for his channel as well.
I send them the children to go get them. They
Oh,
love
that's
collecting
right.
the custom
Oh
cards.
man, I forgot you're
Good
bringing
idea.
your free labor.
Yep.
You know, I was kind of in a similar case, except it was my older brother. Since I was like going around the place talking to people, he was like, "You know, I'll do it for you." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you do it, okay." And he ended up
Here,
collecting every single card, and I was like, "Wow, you did a good job." He even got like the hardest one where you have to do like a good deed to get it. I forgot which one it was
yeah,
called.
yeah.
And apparently he walked up to one person that was giving away the card, and he basically sang a song for her to do it to get it. I was like, oh my god, dude, he really wanted to collect all these cards. But yeah, unfortunately I think he's only gonna be one day there, so I don't know if I could count on him to get the whole entire set.
Mm.
But I'll definitely try to get them if I have a chance. They're awesome. It definitely, I mean, I have it in like my card party binder right here, and whenever I look at them, just brings back a whole bunch of memories. So yeah.
I do know one card all of us for sure will get, and it's going to be a stack of cards that we will get as creators, and we can use it to sign, we can use it to give away. It's going to be the creator card that all of us gets when we check in for our badges. So if you guys come up to us to say hello, if you don't have that card yet, we'll give you that card. And they'll be from other content creators. You can collect as many of those as you can. Those are going to be the best. If you don't have anything to sign, that's going to be the best thing for us to sign for you.
So I got a question for everyone here, all four of you actually, as creators, but also as attendees to Card Party. One of the things, especially with it
Drink
being
water.
3 days, for those that are there for 3 days, it could get super overwhelming. Obviously, if you're a creator, there's demand, then there's connecting with other creators. Actually, a lot of creators end up not getting enough time to create their videos because we're too busy hanging out. We're too busy like finally getting to talk to everybody. But for someone who's brand new, for someone this is their first time coming, it could be super overwhelming, especially as you get through the 3 days. And sometimes that could create a bad attitude for us or a negative attitude, or we could just get so tired that we're maybe not knowing how to respond in a moment to some different things. What advice would you give to that based on your experience and how potentially you've worked through some things that you overcame in your first and second time being at Card Party?
Let's start with Shiv first because you've been to all. We'll do it Shiv, Ian, Rock, and then we'll end with myself because you two have the most experience with Card Party and conventions as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that for me, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I last through all these conventions. I mean, sometimes, I've gone to 4-day conventions where I'm there for 5.5 days total, and I only get like 12 hours of sleep in the process. But it's important for me to specifically keep keep my energy at its very highest at all times, and that's just what I'm good at. But as far as like it being your first time coming to a show, I think it's important to kind of take things one day at a time. Like, right? Like, so if we see Card Party, for example, it's a 3-day convention, right? That can be kind of daunting. So I think the best thing to do is take it one day at a time, and then you minimize that even more. Take it through one event at a time throughout the course of the day, and just kind of consistently check within yourself, see where you're at, see where you're going. If you need time for yourself, take a step out. If you feel like you're a little overwhelmed with something, then I would say go into a different area, go to a different room or something of some sort, and then just go from there. If you feel like, hey, this is a little too much for me, I'm just gonna go walk around and go look at cards and take a stroll, then yeah, that's also a good thing as well. So I would say like minimizing things and taking it segment by segment of a day, and then taking it day by day. I think that's the best way of going about doing things from my experience.
Mhm.
Because it can be kind of daunting if you're focusing on day 3 versus focusing on day 1. And then just kind of going in with an intention, like just one intention of doing something that you can actually complete. By doing
Mm.
that one thing that you can complete, then it makes the entire event worthwhile if you do that one thing. So that's just sort of how I go about with certain conventions. If I feel like, hey, I'm just gonna go there and connect with friends and have a good time, then I'm gonna go there, make some friends, and have a good time. That's the one thing that I wanted to accomplish that entire weekend. Or if it's, hey, I want to collect this one card, well, let me try my best to get that one card, and everything else is just an added bonus. So I try to approach things with like a positive mindset from the jump.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers the question.
It 100% did. Ian, what would you recommend to people?
For first timers, the creators, they wouldn't be creators without the fans. So don't be afraid to go up to any one of them. Don't be fearful. Don't think that we wouldn't want you to approach us. We would absolutely love it for you to come and approach us. Just know that it's a 3-day event and we would love to be out there as much as possible. If we don't want to be out there, we would just leave the area. So if you see us yawning or you see us for a fraction of a second make like a weird face, it's not because we don't want to interact. It's just you're with us all the time, and it is a 3-day event. So especially on that third day, you might see me yawn or make a weird face. But please approach us at any time. If we don't want to interact with fans, we'll just not be there. But if you see us, if you lay eyes on us, please say hi. And again, like not Shivom and Gonzo had said, there's places to go outside if you feel overwhelmed. It shouldn't be so much the case because it's at a convention center. So it's so much bigger than the previous years, especially last year where it was like 3 different vendors. I swear I walked into 3 different rooms thinking it was 3 different rooms, but it was the same room. So just feel free to approach anybody. We're all there for the same reasons, and that's to have a good time.
Yes, I 100% agree with that one. Rock, some advice for the guys, for the new people.
Drink a bunch of coffee, eat a bunch of food. It'll solve a good like 39% of your problems. The other 61%. Yeah, honestly, just take it step by step. Don't rush because at the end of the day, it is quite a long trip, quite a long. I mean, don't rush things. You have like 12 hours or however many hours there are in each single day. In the event. So yeah, just don't rush things. And if you see somebody being having a little attitude, just don't mind it. But I feel like in general, I haven't really came across anybody who was like mean to me or had like some sort of attitude. Everybody was pretty chill, to be honest. Every single person that I've talked with. And for me personally, I mean, I didn't really have a chance to, feel like angry or anything or exhausted because, dude, I had so much adrenaline. I was so excited to meet people. I didn't even think about anything. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yes, absolutely. My advice is going to be for not only new creators, but for people that have PTSD and other anxiety like issues like myself. I have some stuff going on in my head from the Navy and from police work. My advice is don't go alone if you know you have anxiety issues or PTSD with large groups of people. Go with a friend that knows what you're going through mentally, and if they notice your tics, your facial expressions, your ways that to tell them like I'm not having a good time, I don't feel safe, let them tell you let's go take a break. Going alone is fun and it can be great, but if you go with that person who you feel safe with, that you know you can have fun with, is going to be so much better for you and them. And obviously drink water, stay hydrated. The better you feel physically, the better you'll be able to handle all this. It is 3 days like everyone said. And then my advice is probably the golden rule we all grew up with. This isn't just for creators, this is for everybody. Treat those how you want to be treated, because the way you talk to me is how I'm going to talk to you. And I'm sure that's a way for a lot of the content creators, because we are adults. For kids, it's a little more lenient just because they're kids and they're excited. They don't have the same common sense that we do as adults. So like wait patiently. They're talking to someone, use please, use thank you. So just remember that we are talking to dozens and thousands of, or not thousands, hundreds of people a day. So we might be mentally drained. Physically, we're there, but mentally, we might be a few seconds behind. So please give us a second. And for new creators, yeah, just be ready to have some excitement and people come up to you, because you might not think you're a big deal, but to somebody you are a big deal. And with that, I'm sorry we didn't get to every single question out there. I promise we will get to more questions, because we are doing more countdown shows with tomorrow's guest, Alex Hodges, Mount Killa, and Chris by TCG for tomorrow night. And we're going to start with Ian. We're going to move to Rock and then Shiv. Please tell the people where they can find you before Card Party with all your socials.
Yeah, our channel is Ian with Ian. You can find it on YouTube and Instagram, and you'll probably see me cameo in a Deep Pocket Monster video here and there.
Rock, where can the people find you?
Sorry, I just my brain just shut off. But yeah, you could.
He wasn't drinking water.
I wasn't drinking water. See, that's the problem. And I also didn't have that much food today. So yeah, see, I told you 39% of the problems right there. But anyway, you could find me on Rock Sandy on YouTube. I'm pretty active on Instagram. All the other platforms, not so much. I also have a Discord server. So if you want it, it's all also on my YouTube channel. Join, we'll talk, we'll have fun, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Shiv, where can the lovely people find you?
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at not Shivom. So it's basically Shivom, but with a not in front of it. And then on YouTube, it's not Shivom. It's not that, but it's called It's Vaulted. I know Tina in the chat has linked it there for you guys to click on and subscribe to. So yeah, just feel free to hit that sub, and yeah, I'll see you guys at Car Party.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. My name is Gonzo. You guys can find me at 026 Gonzo on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I can't wait to meet all you guys there. And we are going to raid another featured content creator. Trainer Spree is live. We're going to go over there, tell them Card Party hype when you guys get to the raid. Let's go have some fun. Don't forget, guys, collect how you want to collect. Peace.